Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Unfortunately, the start of the video sounded like this.
Club, you are going to kill me.
But we'll jump into it where we can. This is a frustrating one.
It's killing me with just like, I don't know what to say. This is so flipping annoying. Chelsea 3, Southampton 3 in the Premier League. Another 2 points go begging for Chelsea Football Club in a game that not only should have been wrapped up, it should have been won, but again, so many of the same flipping errors over and over and over again come back to haunt us as we drop 2 points in a title race. That's as simple as it is. There's going to be a lot of things I discuss today about individual players, about the way that we played and errors and whatever it may be. But a lot of this is purely frustration when these 6 Things We Learned videos come out straight after the game. Which, by the way, if you're not yet subscribed, I'd like to ask you to do so. This is one of the worst ones to do. This is the one where, again, it was 3 points in literally the clutches of our hands, and we give it away to a team that are probably, no disrespect, I want to give a lot of respect to Southampton. I thought they were very good. I thought tactically in the second half they were brilliant. But realistically, if we look at this game come the end of the season, this is probably a team that are going to be around mid-table. And we don't want to be a mid-table side. We want to be a side challenging for the Premier League title. And again, today, we saw so many things to suggest why, despite the excitement of this Chelsea team, despite the undoubtable attacking prowess that we have, there are so many issues that are going to prevent this Chelsea team from progressing, from becoming the team that we know they can be. And within the 6 Things We Learned video, I'm going to try the best that I can as soon as this game is done. Obviously, I'm speaking from an emotional perspective right now because I'm flipping frustrated, I'm angry. I thought we should have won this game. Thought there were good enough reasons as to why we should have won the game, but we didn't. So for that very reason, we're going to have to get into things. And I do want to start with the green. And Timo Werner gets his first Premier League goals. It wasn't just one, the first one. Absolutely brilliant. The dummy, the way he then turned, and the pace that you see on the turn of the shoulder was fantastic. That when he gets the ball at his feet, he's got the ball, and not only does he not think about shooting, and he's trying to create the opportunity. He's trying to create the chance for himself to get the best chance of scoring a goal. It was brilliant. The second one, nods it over the goalkeeper again. The composure, the brilliance in front of goal. Timo Werner, I thought, was absolutely brilliant. He did get a little bit lost in the second half, but a lot of that is down to the service that maybe wasn't there in the second half for Timo. So he scores 2. Everyone's been waiting for his first Premier League goals. Of course, as Chelsea fans, we'd all love to sit here and talk about Timo Werner's first goal or his first goals for the Chelsea club in Premier League. We'd love to be talking about that with a win. But unfortunately, it's a 3-3 flipping draw, which I think is something we're going to have to get used to. We're going to go into it in a moment, but I think Werner's movement was brilliant. I thought, again, instinctively in front of goal, we saw the confidence that he had from that international break. He scored for Germany. We saw him score twice in that first half. Chelsea didn't create enough opportunities in the second. Whether that's down to substitutions not being made early enough or whatever it may be, one thing's for sure, Timo Werner in front of goal, we know we've got ourselves a proper striker. He's lethal, he's an assassin. And even though we don't get the 3 points, I feel like it's just going to come back to the same flipping thing in this video. I don't think I've been this frustrated for a while. Finishes 3-3. Timo Werner gets himself a green box, but we move straight into a red. And again, as a fan who isn't inside Stamford Bridge, I don't know everything that's said. I don't know everything that goes on. But what I will say is, yet again, similar to what I saw against Liverpool, where I said after the game that Chelsea, when it comes to communication, I don't hear enough as a fan listening through the TV speakers. I don't hear enough communication. I don't hear enough of Chelsea players going backwards and forwards, ordering each other around. I don't hear enough from the sidelines. And again today, when I compare it to what I heard from Southampton, my voice is gone, but when I compare it to what I heard from Southampton, where I hear Ralph Hasenhuttl on the side, I hear their backroom staff, I hear their players talking to one another, arranging each other around, trying to get people in different positions. I feel as though with Chelsea right now, there's not necessarily a game plan to see games out. When it comes to who's there on the pitch, I don't want to put this on the captain. It's not Azpilicueta's fault, I don't think. I don't think it's down to the other natural leaders in the team, considering we know we've got a young squad. We know that there's not necessarily going to be those like figureheads within the squad right now that can actually grab that game and actually do the things I'm saying. I know that it's excuses. I feel like I don't want to be that guy that just makes excuse after excuse after excuse. But if I bring it down to what the meat and potatoes are, the communication wasn't there. There wasn't enough organisation within this Chelsea team in order for people to know, and for myself as a fan on the sidelines who not only watches the game because of the love of the club, I watch the game because of the love of the flipping game. I watch the game because I make these flipping videos where I have to talk about the match. And I didn't hear enough from Chelsea. I didn't hear enough of people just putting people in their position. Come the end of the match, it bites us in the flipping backside. Southampton score a late goal. It kills any of the potential poise that we could have had to go on and score a fourth goal to win the game. I think Frank Lampard obviously brought Ziyech on with the idea that bringing him on would give us more opportunities for creativity. We'd then create more chances, maybe we'd score a fourth goal. In the end, it bites us all in the backside, and it would be very easy to sit here and simply criticise Lampard for maybe not making that change earlier, for not killing the game off. But it is one of those where it's a catch-22, you bring Ziyech on for that opportunity to be able to try and kill the game off with another goal, and then the same old flipping story bites us again. I keep repeating myself, but it's so flipping frustrating. Defensively, we let ourselves down, and we don't come away with 3 points. So box number 3, I do want to give another green box. I thought it was a very good performance today from Ben Chilwell. I thought I love the fact he managed to finish the 90 minutes. We've been asking so many questions about whether or not he's going to be fit enough, whether or not all of these little injuries that he's been picking up are going to enable him to perform at his best. I think particularly, if you look at the opening 60 minutes of the game, I thought Chilwell was always available going forward. We've always said with the likes of Marcus Alonso that we rate his game going forward, but it's always been defensively that he's let us down. I wouldn't necessarily say today Chilwell was one of the main reasons why we conceded 3 goals, but I saw the potency that he has going forward. I love the way that he's always trying to make space. I think he's also very smart when he's in possession. I don't think he tries to go for that jugular. He doesn't always try and take the player on. Sometimes he knows when he needs to go back and play the ball along the back line to Zuma or Christensen to try and build the attack again for Chelsea patiently. I thought Chilwell was very good. I've given him a green box. Again, defensively, when you can see 3 goals at home and you don't go away with 3 points, it's very hard to sit here and justify giving a defender a green box. But for the majority of the match, from what I saw from Chilwell, if we look at this project, if we look at what Chelsea are trying to do, from a progressive point of view, I thought we saw enough positives today from Chilwell for him to warrant a green box. But of course, there are plenty of things that don't warrant green boxes, that warrant yellows, that warrant reds. I'm looking at my computer screen right now as I'm recording this. Chelsea Twitter's going mad. People are frustrated. I'm going to try and keep this as unbiased and as realistic as I possibly can. But box number 4, it has to be a red again. And I bring this back to urgency. I feel as though again, it wasn't necessarily a case of we couldn't kill the game off. I think we definitely could kill the game off. Defensively, there's no organisation within this defensive structure. I don't know if it was just Thiago Silva. I think I might mention him in a moment. But again, Zuma, it wasn't his best game today. I thought there were moments in the second half where Southampton were trying to hoist balls forward towards Che Adams or Danny Ings, and then Zuma did win those aerial battles. But when it really came down to it again, like mistakes from Kepa, I mean, where do we draw the line with this? People are trying to contact me now and I'm turning it off because I don't want to flip and talk to people. Kepa made mistakes again. In terms of getting the flipping ball out from our feet, trying to build attacks, it wasn't good enough. At the end of the day, I can sit here now and say like all of the little individual moments that made Chelsea not win this game, but in the bigger picture of everything, we want Chelsea to be challenging for the title. We want us to be within that title conversation come the end of the season. We saw earlier today that Liverpool went to Everton. They should have won the game by the laws of the game, but we're flipping dealing with different laws these days because of VAR or whatever. Liverpool should have won that game. Again, it shows the difference. Everton, 4 wins from 4. They managed to come away with a draw after not winning a Merseyside derby for 20 games, but they weren't the better side. Everton gained a point. Chelsea, we dropped 2. And when it comes to that end of the season, when it comes to that conversation, these are the moments that flipping urgency to get rid of the ball, to do something with the tackle at the end of the game. These are the things that are going to bite us. These are the things that are going to cost us come the end of the season. And it finishes Chelsea 3, Southampton 3. it wasn't good enough from Chelsea defensively. I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again. We can all sit here and say that we should have gone out and bought a world-class centre-back. We bought in Thiago Silva. He wasn't ready today. And I'm giving him box number 5. I've given him a yellow box because at the end of the day, I feel as though the performance we saw against Crystal Palace, the urgency that we did see defensively was there because we had somebody who knows how to flip and defend, organising, marshalling the back line, doing the nitty-gritty things that the players didn't do today. Oh, so flipping annoying because it was there for the taking, but we just couldn't flipping do it. Try not to swear. I'm trying my best. But I feel as though this game really did highlight how much, even though it's still very early stages in his Chelsea career, even though he's not played that many matches in a Chelsea shirt, I feel as though today we realised the importance that Thiago Silva's leadership, his capabilities at the back defensively, and the way that he can structure and order the defence, whether or not it's Zuma as the number 1, I don't think it was his best game, I've already said that, but Thiago Silva has to be a mainstay within this Chelsea defence this season. He's absolutely key. We haven't really addressed the defensive issues that we saw last season. I know I've given Chilwell a green box, but I think there are enough reasons to give him the green. I don't think Aspi had his best game today as well. But again, it's a collective effort. I think Kepa, again, you see that he's nervous. You know, whenever Southampton are coming forward after they scored that second goal, when we know he should have done better, he looks nervous. He doesn't look as though he's ready for this. And realistically, I don't know how many more times I can sit here in front of the flipping camera and say to you guys that I want to keep giving him another chance. At the end of the day, Mendy's injured, he couldn't play today. And there's not very much we can do about that. Kepa's obviously the number 1. We spent 70 plus million on him. And, you know, Lampard is within good reason to give him that opportunity after he was Spain's number 1 and put in some good performances during the international break. But whether or not the international break was any good for him or not, I said in my preview that I thought it might have been. Kai Havertz scored his first Premier League goal, and after all of those flipping thumbnails over the summer, and after all the ranting and raving we've done about the link up between Werner and Havertz, yes, it was brilliant, and it was a green box in itself. But at the same time, today we saw the inexperience maybe in the Premier League of Kai Havertz. I thought there were moments in the game where, again, some of the goals were probably down to him. And even though he did score Chelsea's 3rd goal, I thought I saw a lot of naive moments within Havertz's game today. Sometimes, when he doesn't have the ball, I would love to see, and again, I have this kind of expectation I have with Hazard, where you didn't always necessarily see him trying to bite at the ankles to win the ball back from the opposition. I want to see that from Havertz. We know he's got the ability. We know that when we're going forward, we look scintillating, we look tantalising in attack, but when it comes to defending, Kai Havertz knows that within this Chelsea team, he's still got a job to do. Today, he didn't do it well enough, and he was at fault for some of the goals. Honestly, this team is going to give me a heart attack. I swear to flipping God, this season, if we carry on like this, I'm going to be gone by the end of it. But Havertz needs to improve defensively. I think overall, if this game would have finished 3-2 to Chelsea, which it didn't, so it's pointless even discussing it, if we would have won the game, I think overall there were more than enough positives to discuss. However, because of the nature of the way we gave the game away, because of the way that we did concede, and it's a late goal which didn't even give us a chance to score a 4th and go on to win the game, because of that, I'm sat here frustrated. I don't think I've ever been this angry within a 6 Things We Learned video, even when we've been beaten. When you throw that flipping lead away. I was watching the whole flipping game despite internet connection issues. We should have had this done. It should have been 3 points. It should have been a completely different tale. Come the end of this video, come the end of 6 Things We Learned, but it isn't. Let me know the 6 things that you learned in the comment section down below. This is a tough one, but we move on again. We've got Sevilla next week in midweek. It's going to be a tough one. They're a very good side. They're going to give us so many problems defensively. I mean, I'm going to rest my voice now because it's disappeared. We're probably going to beat Sevilla 5-4 or something stupid like that. We're going to lose 7-4. I don't know. Who knows with this Chelsea team? We move, we try and build. It's 2 points lost. There's no denying that. We should have won this flipping game. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new around here, please subscribe to GBFC. Hit the like button if you did enjoy today's video, and I'll catch you tomorrow where we'll dissect this a little bit more. See you all later. Bye-bye.